If you don't learn to enjoy the process of becoming better, the process of growth, the process of becoming the best version of yourself, the process of becoming the girl that you actually want to be, you will never be happy even when you achieve those things. I hear a lot of people say, oh, rich people aren't even happy. They are in their homes. They're never happy. You can have all the money in the world and you won't be happy. And they always say things like money doesn't buy happiness. I think the only reason why that happens is because the process to getting the wealth they desire, the things they desire, they forgot to enjoy that process. They forgot to think about the little things in life, the things that actually make life worth living. They became extra fixated on the goals, on what they will be when they achieve these goals. Like the way you are right now, you're thinking, oh, when I lose 20 kg, I'm going to be happier. When I lose 50 kg, I'm going to be happier. And then you forget to actually enjoy the process of attaining these goals. When you actually get those goals, you'll never be as happy as you thought you would be because you are not enjoying the process of attaining the goals. Because actually the process of attaining these goals are actually what make life worth living. They're actually the process of living. They're actually the process of life. So without these things, life isn't worth living. You won't actually enjoy the process of being a person, of living, and of achieving your goals. Hi, my name is Blossom and I'm here to make sure that you never settle for a life that's less than the one you deserve. So today I'm going to talk about enjoying the process of achieving your goals. I know you want to achieve all these things and you think you're not happy because you're overweight right now and you want to lose weight. You think you're not happy right now because you don't have money and you want to have money. You think you're not happy right now because, and it's probably true that you're not completely happy because you haven't achieved those things because you want them, right? But don't think that achieving those things will actually fill that gap. It is the process of getting those things that are actually enjoyable. And that's why you need to enjoy the process. Don't think I'm only going to do this when I'm only going to do this when I. If you start putting a condition to it, you'll be highly disappointed because nothing much will change. Sure, you'll be proud of yourself for achieving those goals, but the high will fade if you don't actually enjoy the process of achieving those goals. You don't stay present in the moment. You don't actually enjoy that process. You don't actually just do it to the fullest and actually enjoy the process of living, of moving, of achieving your goals, of going for something, and of having a purpose, because that is what makes life worth living. So now let's go to chapter 1 and let's talk about the actual real fact. And that is that in the process of achieving things, in the process of going for something that you want, in the process of going for something, it is not usually as aesthetic as you see it on social media. When you watch that movie and this person says, oh, I want to achieve something, and then you see this aesthetic time lapse of them actually doing the thing day in, day out. In real life, it's not Pinterest worthy, it's not aesthetic. There are times you have to cut off people you never wanted to cut off, you lose people you never thought you would ever lose, you lose people that you even thought were aligned to the life that you wanted. You saw them in the life that you wanted. You go through things don't go your way. Things go the opposite way before they eventually come around to go the way you want. The process is actually ugly. It's not aesthetic. It's not glamorous. It's not nice. Sometimes it's painful. It's filled with blood, sweat, and tears, but it's worth it eventually. So if you let go of the idea that it's going to be an aesthetic, lovely, glamorous process, and you understand that this process is not something you have to get through to the life you want to have, it is a process of life. It is actually part of life, and it's something you have to come to enjoy before you think that, oh, this life now is not enjoyable. It is the life ahead that is the enjoyable life. Then life would actually be worth living. Because if you think that, oh, you just have to get to this so you can start living life, you just get to a life where you have everything and you feel like you have nothing. You feel empty inside, despite the fact that you have everything you've worked for, because you didn't enjoy the process and you thought that there's a life ahead that will be better simply because that version of you has the things that you want, without enjoying the present you. And then you get to that future version of you, and that future version of you is also still thinking of a future version of them that's happy with another set of things that they want, because wants never end. Wants are endless. You keep wanting things. So if you don't learn to enjoy the process of getting to a version of you that has the thing that you want, you're not going to actually be happy. Because think about it, the version of you right now, there's a version of you that wanted the things that this particular version of you has, but you are still here wanting something else. So you see that it's a continual process. It's just going to be a cycle of unhappiness, an endless cycle of unhappiness, if you don't come to terms with the fact that you have to enjoy the process of becoming you, of becoming a better version of you, of growth, and of being a better you. So now let's go to chapter 2 and let's talk about how you know, the entire internet is always talking about setting goals. Everything you see, you just say, oh, set goals, or setting goals for 2025, or setting goals for 2026, or setting goals, setting goals, setting goals. And while I agree that it's very important to set goals, it's very good to have a vision in your head, an idea of what you want so that you can't be swayed easily by distractions that come your way. You actually know what you want. If you have a set goal, a set vision in your mind, I still have to also say that it can also be a problem, because then people who are addicted to certain goals are no different from a crack user, because they're always setting one goal or the other, chasing the high of achieving that goal, just like a crack user. And then the process of actually achieving that goal is nothing to them. They're unhappy throughout that process. They keep thinking about when they achieve that goal, how their life is going to be, how everything is going to be. They refuse to appreciate the process of achieving that goal. That's why a lot of wealthy people are unhappy. That's why they say a lot of wealthy people are unhappy, a lot of rich people are unhappy, because they just keep looking for the next thing they can achieve, the next thing they can achieve, the next high. So it becomes an addiction to the high of setting goals. And research actually backs this up. There's actually research that says that those who actually enjoy the process of achieving a goal actually are happier, and they build sustainable success and wealth than people who are constantly chasing net goal, who are never happy, while they're chasing a goal, because they keep thinking about that version of them and how happy that version of them will be. Then they get to that version of them, the happiness doesn't last more than like 2 minutes or 2 days or 3 days. They're already on to the next goal, on to chasing the next high. So you need to be careful when you're setting goals. Yes, it's great to set goals. Yes, it's good to know what you want, to have visions, to have plans, but you need to be careful not to fall into the addiction of setting new goals, achieving them, and then waiting for the next thing, because ones are endless and you will never be happy if that is the way you live your life. So another great way that helps you to actually enjoy the process is flipping the perspective, and that brings me to chapter 3. So this one is actually very, very important, because I know it's going to sound unrealistic. So many creators have said it, so many creators have spoken about things like this, but actually flipping the perspective really works. Instead of saying, oh my God, why do I have to work today? Oh my God, why do I have to do this today? You say things like, oh my God, I'm so happy I get to do this today. I'm so happy I get to work out today. Instead of, oh my God, why do I have to work out today? You're grateful you get to work out today, because then you're actually 1% better. You're actually 1% towards attaining your goal. That to this workout you did today has taken you a step towards the goal that you want to attain. I remember when I started my self-improvement journey and I used to read books, I would be so excited when I was done with one book, or when I was done with like 10 pages of the book, because I know that this means I've learned something new. I've become much more educated in something, because my goal was to become the most educated person that I know, the most educated person I know, the most intelligent person I know, somebody who knows a little bit about something. So I was, always trying to consume knowledge, always trying to read books, always trying to learn something. Every time I read a book, every time I read like 10 pages or something, I knew it was taking me a step closer towards becoming a learned person, towards becoming the most educated person that I know around me. And that meant a lot to me. So that's why I say flipping the perspective really means something. I could have easily been like, oh my God, why do I have to read today? Or do I really need to read 10 pages of book today? And I can confidently say that till now, I still read 10 pages of book every single day, in the morning and in the night, because of that perspective of, oh, I'm actually learning something new. Oh, I'm gaining something new. So in my mind now, I romanticize it. I love the idea of actually, when I'm reading something, I switch my perspective unintentionally, simply by thinking that way. Even when I didn't feel that way, I was thinking that way till I started feeling that way. And now I feel that way genuinely. So you need to flip your perspective. So, oh my God, why do I have to do this? You're just happy, like, I get to do this. So recently there was something that has been happening. So I had the opportunity to work on something, and honestly it became stressful for me. I began to think, oh, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do this? Until one day I actually woke up and I was like, am I really going to keep dragging this on forever? Like, I'm always going to be like, why do I have to do this in my mind every time? Is this how I really want to live my life? Is this how I want to be for the entire time I get to work on this? And I decided to switch my perspective. I decided to think, okay, I'm so grateful I get to work on this. There's so many people out there who could be doing this, but I was chosen to do this. And I think that's an opportunity. It is something that is great. And I know it's going to open doors for me. It's going to open opportunities for me. It's going to take me a step closer to who I want to be. And I'm grateful for this. And I flipped my perspective on it. And I do not feel like it yet. But when I do my gratitude journaling in the morning, I make sure I write that down. I make sure I think that way. I make sure I remind myself that I'm grateful for this opportunity, even though I don't feel grateful yet, even though I don't feel like it's adding anything to me yet. I know that one day I'm actually going to feel that way. Once I keep thinking this way, once I keep, flipping my perspective that way, even though deep in me I still feel that way, I keep saying to myself that I'm grateful for this. I get to do this. Not, oh my God, I have to do this. So flipping your perspective definitely is a game changer when it comes to enjoying the process of becoming better, especially when it comes to tasks that are actually very boring, very hard to do, and not things that you want to do but you need to do. So let's go to chapter 4, and that is celebrating the small wins. Another major reason why you do not feel, why you're not enjoying the process, why you're just thinking that the goal is the end, everything is, and the reason why you're actually unhappy, even though you're on your self improvement journey, is because you do not celebrate the small wins. You're waiting to celebrate after you've achieved, but you're supposed to celebrate the small wins. Okay, you want to lose 10 kg. Okay, shouldn't you celebrate the fact that you already lost 2 kg out of 10 kg? Because that means you are 1/5 of your way to losing 10 kg. That is something worth celebrating. Buy a small cupcake, do a self-care night and celebrate yourself for actually losing 10 kg, because that actually means a lot. It means something. The fact that you actually showed up for yourself well enough to lose 2 kg, it means you were serious about yourself. You cared about yourself so much that you actually showed up for yourself enough and you lost 2 kg out of 10 kg. Sure, you're not there yet. Sure, you're not even halfway there, but you showed up for yourself. And I think that is worth celebrating. Celebrating the small wins will definitely boost you, even if you have to celebrate it alone. Celebrate it with friends, family, loved ones, your partner. It's also something, but definitely celebrate it. Because I remember that I always make sure that I try to celebrate as little an achievement as I can, because I realize that if you're not celebrating the little ones, you're not going to take yourself for granted. You're going to begin to feel like you're not doing anything with your life. If you don't actually reflect, sit and reflect and think about the things you've actually done, the things you've actually achieved, even if they are little, they would mean a lot, because you know how hard it was for you to stay consistent. But now you're staying consistent. Isn't that worth celebrating? You need to encourage yourself, because if it was a friend that you knew struggled with consistency and then they suddenly started being consistent, you would celebrate them. You will celebrate them so much. You'll be like, wow, I'm so proud of you. You actually showed up for yourself this time. I know how hard it's been for you. So why not do the same thing for yourself? These are the little things that constitute self-love. If you are not doing them, then I don't know what you mean by you're loving yourself. Because if you do these things, it will help you to enjoy the process more. You celebrated losing 2 kg, you are 1/5 of the process towards it. You're going to be pumped to keep going and keep going and keep going. And eventually you lose 10 kg, and then you can do a grand celebration. You can do that. You're 1/5, you buy one cupcake, and then when you lose, 4 kg, you buy two cupcakes. And then when you lose, and then to celebrate that process, and to remind yourself that you keep showing up for yourself, and you deserve something, you deserve love, and you deserve to be celebrated and applauded for showing up for yourself. So let's go to chapter 4, and that is balancing the art of growing and of living. So you are growing, you're in your 20s, you're grading your 20s, you're trying to grow, you're trying to be better, you want better finances, you want better health, you want to look better, you want to be better, you want to be in healthier relationships, you want to love yourself better. But you also have to live at the same time. Yes, you're chasing the next goal. Yes, you want to be better. That's fine. I'm also chasing my goals. But you need to learn how to grow and to live. Because then, if you spend all your time chasing your goals, when is the time you're actually going to live? When is the time you're going to actually have time to live? When is the time you're going to fall in love? You're going to get heartbroken? When's the time you're going to have friends, go out with your friends all night, try that new restaurant, go on solo dates, actually experience and live. You need those experiences. Life is not complete with those experiences. So that's why hustle culture isn't the best. Like, oh, hustle, hustle, hustle. Oh yeah, if you want to make it, you gotta have to work like 1 million hours a day. Like, no, you don't. You don't need to wake up 4:30 a.m. and go to sleep by 5 a.m. because you want to make it.
it's not making sense. Like, that's not how it works. You need to balance the art of growing and living, or else you're going to be very unhappy, because then your life won't be filled with the experiences of a girlie who's growing, a girlie who wants to live her life to the fullest experience. Like, man, you need to learn how to grow and how to live at the same time, because if you're not doing that, it's going to be boring. I remember when I was in school, I knew that I wanted to be a great student, but I also wanted to be known as laid back, fun, living my life. So I needed to learn how to balance my life, how to balance things in such a way that I'm fun, I'm happy, I'm having fun, I'm making friends, I'm doing things I want to do, but I'm also focusing on my books. You can do both. Don't let them lie to you and say you need to completely focus on one. You can do both, and you should do both, or else you're going to be unhappy. You're going to have missed out on the experiences you should have had in your 20s, and you'll be 50. Yeah, you made the money, but like, where's the experiences that actually make up your life? It's empty. It's filled with work, 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 work. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't. Okay, so let's go to chapter 6, and that is the final chapter, which is how do you apply this into becoming the highest and the best version of yourself. So step by step, if you wanted to apply this into becoming the best version, if you wanted to apply this, like, you wanted to actually do this, actually make sure that you are doing this. What is that checklist? What is that list that you should follow to make sure that you're actually following this? First thing you need to learn how to do is to romanticize the process. Like I mentioned earlier, romanticize everything. The way it feels in a book where the main character goes from this to this, and you see this time lapse of them going for their goals, you see this time lapse of them chasing their goals, you see this time lapse of them doing better for themselves. And it's romantic, it's nice, it's aesthetic. You can actually romanticize that process. Make yourself feel like you are that main character in your book. Like, you are that main character in your book. The process isn't boring. Like, for instance, you want to be a high flyer. Like, think about how the high flyers are. You don't want to be a nerd. Okay, that's cool. You want to be this badass that actually knows everything. I remember when I used to read Wattpad books, and I used to enjoy all those badass men that are like badass women that are very good at their books, they're very smart, they're laid back, they're always seen having fun, but like, they know everything. They don't spend all their time studying, they're not nerds. And I wanted my life to be that way, so I created it that way. I would read, but I would have a lot of fun at the same time, and I wanted to be seen that way, and I was seen that way. So you can also romanticize your process. Go for your goals, but make it romantic in your own way. Like, as if you're in your own novel. I daydream a lot, and I suggest you do. Celebrate your micro wins, the littlest things, celebrate them. Like I said earlier, even if it's the fact that you just lost a little bit of the weight you wanted to lose, or you just you move from being a C student to being a B student, is worth celebrating. Yes, you are not an A student yet, but celebrate that first. It helps you feel better, because you will do it for your loved ones, so why not do it for yourself? Next is to shift your language. I spoke about it before, from I have to do this to I get to do this. You need to shift your language, because it also shifts your body language. It's also going to shift how you view the process, and it's also going to make the process much more enjoyable for you. If you want more context on this, you can go back into the previous chapters and learn more about that. Document the journey, document it, make videos of everything that you are doing. Make sure you're documenting the process, because I especially love Snapchat for this. I remember when I used to watch my a year ago, like this year I watched one of my a year ago when I was actually in like a dark space, and I made a video talking about where I thought I would be this year, and where I thought I would be, how I would be, and everything. And I watched that video back now, and I'm like, oh, I can relate to previous Blossom, and it's just like, I get it. And seeing the growth, because sometimes you might not notice the growth, but then if you make videos, if you document the process, you take pictures, you will remember where you were and where you are at now, to help you to enjoy the process better, to be like, wow, I went from this to this, oh my god. And it helps you, because your brain might forget, but your camera roll will never forget. So keep that, document every process, man. It's very good. It helps for gratitude too. It helps you to be grateful. Next is to balance hustle with presence. Hustle but be present. Like I say, hustle culture benefits no one. You can hustle, you can also be present, you can also have fun, and your entire life is not consumed by work. You're also having fun. Hustle and be present. Everything is not work, hustle culture, work 23/7. No, enjoy your life, but hustle but also be present. So that usually comes with actually having routines, which I talked about in one of my videos, which you can actually check out, where I spoke about how to actually create routines for your life. Next is to stay inspired. Watch YouTube videos like mine, read books, use Pinterest, listen to podcasts, stay inspired, keep watching stuff like that. Because I remember when I wanted to, when I was studying, I used to watch all these study talk aesthetic videos of, I won't disappoint you, mother. I only see my goals. I don't believe in failure. Just to motivate myself and pump myself. It's very important just to make sure that you are staying inspired. So if you've watched this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I've been able to pass my message across. I hope you've understood why it's very important, why you actually enjoy the process of becoming, because that is actually what matters. Enjoying the process. Enjoy the process of becoming. Enjoy the process of becoming the girl that you want to be. Don't get sucked up in chasing after your goals. Right now, I'm making my videos. I'm enjoying the process of making my videos. I don't have my 1 million subscribers right now, but I have 148 subscribers right now. But I'm enjoying the process of making my videos. I'm shamelessly enjoying the process of making my videos. So you too, enjoy the process, because then when I have the followers, I always enjoy the process from the start. I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to be happy when I have 1 million followers. I'm happy now. I'm happy now without my 1 million followers. I'm happy now. I'm making my videos. I know when I'm watching this back, when I finally achieve that goal, it's gonna be cute. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be aesthetic. Like, yeah, Blossom, you saw this coming, right? So it's something that just enjoy the process, okay? If you like this video, please like, share to all your friends and your family, comment on my videos, subscribe to my channel so I can have my 1 million followers, and just make sure that you keep becoming the best version of yourself that you can be while having fun, because it's very important that you have fun. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.